Hey everyone, in this video we'll review the ThinkTank Backstory 15 camera bag. Let's go. So let's start this video off with the price. This camera bag comes in at $229.75 on Amazon. And if you want to check it out at that price, I'll have a link to it down in the description. Now let's jump into the specs. Starting with the exterior dimensions, it is 11 inches wide, 19.8 inches tall, and 7.5 inches deep. Right after that are the internal dimensions, and this thing is 10.6 inches wide, 16.9 inches tall, and 5.25 inches deep. It also comes in with a weight of 3.6 pounds. Going off of that, the Backstory 15 has 3 different pockets with 2 expandable water bottle pockets on each side. So starting off with the main compartment where you would keep your camera, you actually have to turn the bag around, flip the straps backwards, and that is how you're able to access the main compartment. Getting into the camera bag, you have the typical customizable divider system, but the reason I really love this divider system is because they actually incorporate 2 cushioned pillows. And these are really great because they add extra protection to your camera gear. Also, as you can see, there's a lot of storage space within this main compartment. Now jumping here to the front of the camera bag, you have another pocket right here in the front. This one houses your laptop. It can fit up to a 16-inch laptop in here. Also, you got a few spaces here for some pens, some business cards, maybe a few other miscellaneous items. And this thing goes pretty deep too. Look, I can fit basically my full forearm inside of this pocket here. And then finally, you have the last pocket here in the front. They recommend that you toss things like your phone or sunglasses in here. And this one's not very big. I can barely even fit my hand in here. Now I would like to jump back here a little bit and talk about this quick access pocket on the top. You unzip it, flip it up, your camera's right there, grab it, take a few photos, videos, whatever you need, toss it back in, close her up, and you're ready to go. Moving on from that, you got a few different ways you can hold this camera bag. You got a side handle here, one on the top, and then you obviously got the shoulder straps. And on the shoulder straps, you do have a sternum strap here in the middle and a waist strap down at the bottom for taking some of the weight off of your shoulders. And keep in mind, you can remove the sternum strap and the waist strap. Going back to the front of the camera bag, there is an area to attach your tripod if you need to. And finally, one last little thing, it does come with a rain cover as well. All right, that's about it for the specs and the ins and outs of this camera bag. Now let's jump into the pros and cons. The first pro on my list is the build quality. The build quality of this thing is just super nice. You can tell that the materials they used are very durable and are gonna last a while. I've had this thing for a little over a year now and I haven't noticed any signs of wear and tear. I've been able to get it wet and muddy. I've brought it in tons of different types of terrain and it still bounces back, no issues at all. And that gets us into the second pro, the storage space. As you can see earlier when I was showing off the main compartment, this thing can hold a lot of camera gear. Normally, I'm able to fit my Canon 60 Mark II, my Sigma 24-70 f2.8, my Sigma 70-200 f2.8, my Canon SL2 as my backup camera, a cleaning kit, a shotgun microphone, my camera batteries, and the rain cover that comes with it, all in the main compartment. And then obviously I have the 2 other pockets for miscellaneous items, filters, SD cards, and anything else that I gotta toss in this thing. And I can honestly say that I've never had an issue with the storage space of this camera bag. I've always been able to fit plenty of gear inside of this thing. Moving on, we have pro number 3, comfortability. Comfortability. Comfort. Don't get me wrong, this thing can get pretty heavy when you have a bunch of camera gear loaded inside. But the camera straps on this thing are pretty nice. They're very comfortable on your shoulders. They're also adjustable. They have cinches that you can pull at the bottom. And then on top of that, you also have the sternum strap and the waist strap if there's still too much weight on your shoulders. And up next, we have pro number 4, the build options and customizability. So like I mentioned, you have the sternum strap and the waist belt. You can take those off or you can leave them on if you want to. And then inside the main compartment, you have the typical layout that every other camera bag has but on top of that, you also have those extra cushioned pillows. And for me, that's the biggest thing about customizability on this camera bag. You can put those cushioned pillows wherever you want in the main compartment, wherever your most valuable lens or camera is, knowing well that it's going to provide the best possible protection for that valuable piece of gear. And that gets us into the 5th pro, the easy access top pocket. Being able to pull your camera out of your camera bag in less than 5 seconds is a huge lifesaver. I can't tell you how many times I would have missed the shot if I didn't have the quick access top pocket on this camera bag. It's just awesome that you have one pocket that accesses your camera only, and you don't have to fumble around with the rest of your gear. Now, onto the cons. Con number 1, the price. I mean, I wouldn't say 230 bucks is outrageous for this type of camera bag, but I would have liked to see it closer to 200, and I think that would have attracted more eyes as well. Con number 2, the tripod sling takes a while to set up, and it's a little awkward. The sling takes a while to set up because there's 2 different straps that you have to connect to your tripod. And if you're in a hurry, then it's probably just best to carry your tripod in your hands and not attach it to the bag. Now for con number 3, it can't stand up on its own. This really isn't a huge deal, but I know some people out there like having a camera bag that'll be able to stand up vertically on its own. But personally, I don't have an issue with it because you can lean this thing up against a wall or a tree or a fence or wherever you need to. It's very rare when you actually need to have your camera bag standing up straight, vertically, all on its own. Now, con number 4, it's not 100% waterproof without the rain cover. Now again, I don't think this is a huge issue. I have had this thing out in pouring rain before and haven't had any problems with it. And I do think they used a water-resistant material on the outside of this camera bag, so if you don't really have time to put the rain cover on this thing, I wouldn't worry about it. I've never had to use it, and again, I haven't had any issues. And now for con number 5, the stitching on the shoulder strap broke. Once again, not a huge issue. It actually happened in an area that I'm not super concerned about, and it's not ripping into the inside of the shoulder strap. It's just the stitching that holds the nylon straps onto the shoulder straps. All right, that's it for the pros and cons. Now let's talk about who this camera bag is recommended for. I would say video creators with a light load, photographers that need a decent amount of space, and photographers or videographers that are looking for their first pro camera bag. So this is by far the best camera bag I've ever owned. It offers the perfect amount of storage space, has a great build quality, is super comfortable, and I love the quick access top pocket. It basically makes toting around your photo and video equipment super easy. There aren't many major cons of this camera bag, and I was kind of reaching with a lot of them on my list anyways. If you guys want to see more videos like this, subscribe by clicking right here. Thanks for watching, and always remember to capture great moments. Peace.